Even though I've been at BNI for a little over 2 years, it was brought to my attention that I really haven't given a good idea of what I do. And it was brought to my attention that people that know me have no idea people in my own chapter have no idea what I do. So today I want to correct that. One person even thought I worked in a mortuary. The people in the chapter will understand that, but the visitors won't, but that's okay. So I've been telling people what my software does instead of how my customers benefit from my software. So today I hope to change that, and I'm going to start by saying that I help companies manage relationships with their most important assets, and that's their customers and their employees. And a little bit of background about who I am that makes me qualified to do what I do. I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, which is where I get this man of steel look that you see in front of you. And then I graduated from Cal State University, Los Angeles with a degree in accounting and a degree in mathematics, which kind of softened the look a little bit. So a little bit nerdy. I also worked for General Electric in customer service, where we made the transition from paper to computer, so that was another great experience. And I was also an inventory specialist for General Electric, where I reconciled their inventory with computers. After that, I became a controller of a good-sized trucking company for many years, and I developed applications that took data from onboard computers in our trucks and did all the billing and fed the general ledger, so our entire system was fed by data that our drivers entered. And at February 27th of 1992, I left the workforce and I started doing that for other companies. Some of the companies that I worked with are Chevron, Domino's Pizza, Baskin-Robbins, US Foods, Kroger, just to name a few. And I developed unique applications that took data from onboard computers and helped them manage their customers, their business, and their relationships. The common denominator of all my experience is that I love learning about company relationships and systems. And that's what makes them tick and what makes them stumble. You've all seen organizational charts, and they are a roadmap of the relationships within a company. A good partner for me is one who wants to improve a system and is willing to make the commitment to designing it, seeing it through. And I'm going to give you 3 examples here that'll help illustrate the kind of thing I do. Repairing a pool, chipping it out and resurfacing a pool is a very complex operation. So the owner of a company came to me and he said, there's got to be an easier way to do this. I want to be able to do these bids, and I also want to be able to have my foreman do the bids instead of me having to do it all the time. He likes to travel, and so he's stuck doing all of the bids. So I said, okay, teach me how to do the bids, okay, and to pretend that I'm not very smart, but I'm really good at following instructions, just like a computer. So he taught me how to do that, and I created a program that does the bidding for him, and now the people that work for him do a bidding for him, and they're accurate and they're good, and he's establishing or helping his relationship with potential customers. Now my favorite, which gets into why somebody thought I worked in a funeral home. A crematory has a relationship with funeral homes, and a funeral home has a relationship with a family or loved one of somebody that died. Okay, in all my experience, I can't imagine a relationship more sensitive and therefore more important. Can you imagine the impact, or one of my customers said one time that they are governed by the laws of emotion. Can you imagine a simple mistake that is made on any part of that process? A family brings to the attention of a funeral director a mistake, that crematory could lose a good portion of their business. So my software focuses on the accuracy of the data, and also the presentation where they can have custom certificates and everything else. So it creates an image. So it helps the entire relationship of the crematory with the funeral home to the families. And then the one that we talked about today, I met Lynn Marble at MSP, and we developed, he came to me and said, I'd really love to have a program that could help me work my book of business. Okay, that's his clients. And he also had no idea how much money he was making. He's bringing all these commissions in from all these plans and all these clients, and he doesn't work. An agency can often provide that information, but as an individual, he can't get that. So we put our heads together, and it took us about 2 years of development. And with ARM, an example of what Lynn can do today is that his phone can ring and he can look on the display and see a telephone number. He can punch that number in and immediately have all the information and all the conversations he's had with that client before he even picks up the phone. Okay? And then Lynn can say, hey Bonnie, I hear barking in the background. Are you still dog sitting? Okay? Imagine what Bonnie thinks about Lynn. She thinks that she's probably his only customer. And he's got hundreds of customers that he gives the same kind of service with. That's the power of what we do as far as putting our heads together and coming up with an application. So you see, I don't really develop software. I help people manage their business and their relationships. I'd also like to add that my solutions are easy to use, affordable, and I support my applications like I'm your next door neighbor. Okay, and now a word from our sponsor. BNI has helped me in many ways, and it would be hard to cover them here. My presentation this morning is a good example. I have experts that can help me with every aspect of my business, and I can't say enough about my relationship with Lynn. He's made me a better programmer and a better businessman, and not only do I have access to people like him, but Bonnie and Dom and everybody in here. And we have a saying in here that the markets are volatile. We're always kidding about that. Well, we know that they are. And the news is not always good, but at BNI it's like a parallel universe. We have like-minded business people growing their businesses and helping each other in a very positive environment. And that's all I have. Jeff Johnson, Sandy C. We work with people, not computers. And if you have any questions, see me after the meeting.
Very good.